sad news today. Very, very sad news. Charlie Kirk was one of the most important people in the conservative movement and one of the most important people in the country. He ran Turning Point USA, which you could almost argue that it's bigger than the RNC itself. And he was a very effective leader. Free speech must be protected. You cannot have a country where by just sharing ideas or sharing what you believe is right for the country, that it means that you deserve to be killed. Then that's the American experiment, is that we can live in a country, even if we disagree with each other, but we're allowed to express our ideas. Charlie Kirk was a great person, and it's not just people on the right-wing side that liked him. Many people on the left-wing side who are really far away from him politically said, you know what, I don't agree with anything that he says, but behind the scenes, he's a terrific guy, he's a nice guy. And I even hear people say that it bothered them to meet him because they always think of the right as bad, but when they meet him, they see that he's a great person. I remember Charlie Kirk watching him years ago, and he was very, very talented, and he had very, very similar values to me, and a lot of the same people he looked up to are the ones that I look up to. We didn't have the same religion. I didn't have the same religion as Charlie Kirk, but in some ways I really feel that I almost did have the same religion, because he was a man of God, and I believe he embodied Jewish values. And again, he was a Christian, but our values are very much shared. I always liked Charlie Kirk, but I have to admit something, that I was upset with him for the last couple of months because he would invite people in Turning Point USA, which I felt were outside the mainstream conservative ideals. People that not just me, a lot of people had problems with Charlie Kirk in terms of inviting these people and allowing them to speak on stage. Now, I really understand what he was trying to do. And he felt that by having the conservative coalition together, that it was a more important thing than being divided. And he was trying to keep that coalition together, even though it was fracturing a bit. But this is the reason why he invited people, which again I don't think should be part of the mainstream conservative movement. But I forgive Charlie for that, because his heart was in the right place. And so it's very devastating that such a young person has his life cut short. People can live to 100, and they don't accomplish, and they will not accomplish anything near what Charlie Kirk did in his 31 years of life. So I bid farewell to Charlie Kirk, and I pray for America.